Now, ladies and gentlemen, while extending a very hearty welcome, the best part, Professor Bedi has given a surprise to me this evening is, at the back, he has put a Chitkara board. He is wearing Chitkara Institution University's t-shirt or shirt, and he is promoting Chitkara in a big way. So I am going to send a voucher for sponsorship of this program to Professor Chitkara ji, Madhu Chitkara ji, Mohit Chitkara ji, and Professor KDS Bedi in a humorous way, in a laughter way.
Yeah.
So with these words, ladies and gentlemen, let me extend a very hearty welcome to Professor KDS Bedi to share his vision, his thought, and his motivational talk. And thereafter, we will have Dr. Kushal Saab with Dr. Kushal's permission.
Absolutely, sir. My pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Saab, please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you very much once again, Dr. Gulshan Sharma, the esteemed panelists here, and all the participants, my own university students, my faculty, my colleagues. What a brilliant opportunity. I first of all want to thank Dr. Sharma for such a fantastic platform that he's created. From the World Environment Day, 5th of June to 15th of August, the Independence Day that we are going to have. It's a brilliant thought and probably the best ever initiative in such unprecedented, unparalleled time in the history of mankind, where so many people are confined to their homes, to their closed up areas, and we are trying to get the best out of people by motivating them, by inspiring them through our value creation on such type of platforms. Thank you very much. My humble thanks to Dr. Kushal also for allowing me, because at this moment, I am sitting at my own office at Chitkara University. Due to certain restrictions of time, the people who are at the back end, they have to go home, and I sought this, little early chance. The two things that I am mainly going to touch today is one, the making education relevant. Well, I have been in the industry for almost 30 years, having worked in such fine multinationals, having learned things which were evolved over 100 years, having worked in Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Mercedes-Benz, all the three companies. But when it came to giving back to society, nothing better could be understood or imbibed in my own personality other than joining a university of repute, where you give your best to the youth of the country, the future leaders, the future CEOs of all the industries or the multinationals that we are working so very brightly in this beautiful country. So, my passion of having worked in sales and marketing over 35 years had given me enough confidence and courage and that gut feeling to create something unique. And that is what we did about 7 years back when we launched India's first College of Sales and Marketing, wherein sales was started as a subject which could be taught as an MBA specialization. So that is something very, very important. See, sales previously, when I joined sales about 35 years back, it was not taken too seriously the way other professions like medicine, engineering, law, that was much attractive to the youth. But sales was something which was left for people to fend for themselves. And over the years, thanks to, again, the multinational companies, which have evolved such powerful systems and processes to evolve sales as a very, very scientific subject. So my passion takes me, because sales is something which needs to be taught not only to those who practice sales as a profession, but for being a better human being, for being a better citizen, because sales is nothing but connecting with people at the right platform at the right tone, your own, it is, I would call it, it is a personality development. You may be an engineering student, but if you are not good in communication, if you can't express yourself, you may be the best of doctors, but if you cannot connect well with your patient, I'm sure there is some gap. And this is how we try to imbibe. My topic here, relevance, making education relevance, is talking everything about the student. It is student directed. It is putting the student as a pivot of the whole activity, be it school, college, university, higher education, whatever. Because this country, of course, is at a stage where demographic dividend of almost 65% of the population of the country less than 35 years, we really cannot think anything beyond empowering our youth. And that is what is the topic today, making education relevant. We need to connect with our students well. We need to teach them confidence to speak. We need to give them a feeling of their well-being. All the more important in this time where they are shattered with their confidence. They are sitting home, there are negative thoughts, going in their mind, and nobody better than us can empower them through such type of powerful webinars, powerful interaction with them, engaging them into something very, very positive. And nothing better than this that we're doing. Provide them the ultimate value. See, here in our sales academy, the first thing that we do is to teach them to speak well. The first thing, the introduction, the confidence to at least give a glimpse of their own personality to in front of the audience or in front of the panel. They are going to face the interviews in front of the HR. So their speaking is so important, and so is for all the other faculties of studies, engineering, medicine, law, media and entertainment. And not only are they able to speak in front of the audience, they are also videographed. They are shown the improvement. This is empowering them through a particular setup that we have created at our sales academy. We need to have hands-on learning experience. We got to believe them, put them into situations, they make the projects. All that is more important here. We have the online learning going on, online teaching going on. This is the time that we need to give them live projects where they dive deep into something to get the information. Learning has to be this way. Not only the faculty, but they have to learn something. This is, in the Western world, these projects, these co-ops, these internships are very, very important. Connecting well with the students is another area that I want to highlight. An example I would give you, a mother connects well with a child as compared to the father. If a small child, a school-going student, doesn't drink milk, the father starts counting money, 50 rupees a kg for a milk or something. And, he says it's very difficult and very hard to earn. And I get you this milk on your platter. The mother connects with a child saying, if you drink milk, you will be the captain of the cricket team. If you drink milk now, you will get enough calcium in your bones that you will become stronger. You will be the Sachin Tendulkar of the next innings, This is how connecting well. Students should be taught the way to interact with people, create their own network, because they have to fend for themselves when they join, post their, studies, they need to join the corporate world. It is the network which will matter a lot. And sales teaches you networking ability. Creating that feel-good factor. I believe to the extent that it's not only your physical appearance, your body language, even your aura should be indicative of your personality. They would say, here is the man who came to sell the product or service. You create value. You don't sell the thing. It's creating value of everything that you, speak for. Getting guest speakers, I mean, so important here. Getting the best areas of expert professionals to the students. See, gone 70 years of studies, degrees, and so forth. You know, the Western way of doing, even testing your knowledge. Let them go and have educational trips, study tours, you know, visiting. I was amazed to see our own university students going to Malerkotla to study the buildings which were built about 400 years back, learning the architecture, the style of buildings. That is, and going to the areas of wells, you know, maybe 100 years or 200 years of wells, how people used to store water when the technology was not there. So these are the things which will inculcate interest, passion, and would have knowledge at a very, very, interesting, in a very, very interesting mode, I would call it. Plan field visits. Start with real world problems in mind. The students need to be told what is the existing problem of the humanity. Maybe COVID or whatever, pollution, something, you know, they need to be overpopulation, you know, transportation, unethical means, corruption. They need to be sensitized and they have to create that feeling of coming with a new generation altogether. I mean, a new world that, of course, digitalization, you know, this we've been, there is always they say there is a silver lining to every dark cloud. Something which could not happen in 3 years, you know, probably has happened in 3 months. It's a blessing in disguise, I would call it. Such times, the COVID times have brought, it's brought so many plus things that we need to be thankful. And we have saved our lives, you know, things are going to be normal, maybe a couple of months down the line. But our learning, our bond with the family, as rightly pointed out by Dr. Gulshan Sharma, in the beginning, even the Prime Minister, he said, have a nice binding with your family. Know your parents, know your grandparents well. Listen to the stories. Go back to your albums, the black and white albums, to see what the family was like about 50 years back. Who were the people? How did we live? Such beautiful things. People are collaging, you know, they're making collages of their black and white pictures. They're coming out with brilliant ideas, sharing it with their friends. This is amazing. This is the best gift of the present times. And this is what we believe in, simulation. Something, of course, a pilot, of course, may not have the ability to learn flying all the way in the air, but there is a simulator that he works on. Swimming can be learned in a swimming pool, not by reading books. So enough of study in the books. As a sales expert, nothing can be learned through books, I would call it much, but it is your jumping into the field that you learn things. Simulations, when I say, is like creating. We make mock mandis, you know, at our university. We have mock mandis where group of students, they purchase a product and they are made to sell either to the core students or to the faculty or maybe outside. They learn the art of profit and loss. Practical learning indeed. Such is the brilliance of these ideas. Relevance again, give them awards, recognize, reward. Recognize is very, very important. Students would always, you know, get inspired if you point out that he is the best entrepreneurship mind or the best creative idea coming from X student or best team player or best team as such. So they need to be rewarded. They need to be encouraged. Broadly, these were some of the ideas that I wanted to make education relevant. And of course, I would still say last that empowering students with their ability to speak, network, and create a mindset which works, exploring one's option, going out of the box, and to be realistic in the changing times, to be aware of their current challenges is very, very important. The second thing that I promised my participants also who were also following me for last 2 days was motivation. Though I will take another less than 5 minutes to say motivation is extremely important for success. My take on this, you see the story within India or elsewhere, if you happen to see the success of the topmost people, be it the best lawyer in the country, Shri Ram Jethmalani ji, unfortunately he is not there, or Khushwant Singh ji as a writer, if you see the sportsmen, if you see the statesmen, the politicians, the achievers in life, the leaders of this country, nothing could be achieved without motivation. It is the prerequisite of success. Motivation, passion, enthusiasm. 3 words. Motivation, passion, and enthusiasm. Nobody can achieve anything without 3. If you do not have these 3 things in your personality as a trait, forget about achieving heights. You could live like a normal, ordinary citizen. You can be a follower, but you can never be a leader. Motivation is like taking bath every day. It is like mental food. It is like your physical food that you chew every day to get that energy to get up in the morning and to go out for work. It is the fresh breath that you breathe in. Motivation, in so many words, is the synonym for all this. It's like a fresh breath of air for you to breathe, and my belief in that. Motivation is success. No motivation, no success. It is a factor of your performance. It is creating brilliant ideas, work overtime, setting your goals, creating that attitudinal feeling of positivity, and working hard for success and your achievement. So this is, in a nutshell, what is motivation and how to achieve this. Well, that everybody probably knows motivation. There are so many books on motivation. You Google motivation and there's literature, unending literature on motivation. But what it takes to be motivated, that is the question. And whosoever does that probably has achieved it. And he becomes a leader, whether a political leader or a defense or, maybe military leader or an educational leader, whatever may be your field. So motivation is having passion or genoon of something. It is creating your efficiency and efficacy. It could be a factor of your upbringing. It could be. But it is also possible to acquire this skill. It's learnable. Probably if you've seen your father working hard, making that grind for the life, if you've seen your mother doing so much of work at home, could be a source of your motivation. But if you haven't seen your father working that hard, maybe your environment or your peer group or your teacher or your idol, or maybe Amitabh Bachchan at 78 years of age could be a motivating model for you. Because if I give the example, I am also into counseling students for their career development, professional guidance, and also their well-being in the future, future leadership, future CEOs. I believe it firmly that they're the future leaders. And we tell them, we give them the example. Is it the money which motivates Amitabh at this age? No. He may be having unlimited money to run through 7 generations of his family. But it is his passion to work so beautifully that he wants to act into every role. He works for 15 hours a day and reaches his acting spot 5 minutes before the appointed time at the age of 78. That is motivation which doesn't let you sleep. That is motivation. And your background, your environment could also be helping you to, be motivated. HR usually asks certain questions. The first question probably of an HR is, what motivates you to apply for this job? And interestingly, I have researched 10 areas of answers of different kind. The biggest most motivation for a particular student or a human being could be, parents, working parents, family, your bonding, or doing something good for your near and dear ones. This could be motivation for somebody. Success could be motivation for another student. He wants to see the ladder rising. He wants to be professionally and personally, going higher and higher. Success, professional success, personal success could be another motivation for another person. Helping others and empowering people. I, at the age of 55, want to create sales as a choice for large number of unemployed students. I want to tell them that, okay, fine, it's good to do engineering, medicine, law, but then learn the basic art of speaking, basic art of representing your organization, and go out to sell and create your personal aura. Sales, empowering students is motivation. Team playing, the sports people, cricketers, football, hockey, motivation is to achieve the team success. For them, motivation is team winning. You're professional. If you are a very good scientist, or you are a surgeon, or you are the best of the best doctors, that area, your professional motivation could lead you to work that extra mile or achieving things. Learning could be a motivation. Some people enroll themselves for PhD at the age of 60. It is an ongoing process. Learning is motivation for them. They draw inspiration, they draw happiness. I have seen people working so hard, studying, going beyond. Motivation, learning is motivation. Beating deadlines, setting deadlines that while you are working for an organization, if your target is given by way of quantity or maybe by time bound, if you achieve that, there is sense of feel good factor, and you tell your team that, sir, the target was given 30th of June and I have achieved. You're setting or meeting the deadlines could be a motivation. Your efforts being recognized by the people that you work for, or maybe your peer group, your society, could be a motivation. If there is an applause, if the people say, here's a man who's done it for us, this could be motivation. Reward and recognition. Getting access to top management, being part of the core team, could be a motivation. For most of the people working in this, professionals in multinational companies and software companies being part of the core team could be motivation. And last but not the least, even health. Dr. Gulshan said health is so very important in this era, particularly this post-COVID era. Your health, your fitness, your feel-good factor, even looking good, even you're looking slim and symmetrical. People see, of course, gym is out of question these days, but people have started taking to cycling, running. The very fact that you look good and you look smart is also an example of motivation that keeps people run for marathons and run for miles together. And this is all that I wanted to say. Once again, thanking Dr. Gulshan Sharma, the team at ICSI, all the international friends, my esteemed co-panelists, my students, my faculty, my colleagues. Thank you very much. And what a brilliant platform to express such wonderful and brilliant thoughts. Goodbye and Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, Professor KDS Bedi. On the lighter side, I must mention, ladies and gentlemen, this evening is sponsored by Professor KDS Bedi.
Point taken, sir.
Because the reason being, he has given so much of happiness, encouragement and all, motivation, passion and enthusiasm. And of course, looking good. And more than that is feeling good. That is also very important.
Very, very important, particularly in this area, sir.
Yes. When you
during the present times,
yes,
your
yes,
feeling good is very important. Keep the spirit high.
Yes. So me and Professor KDS Bedi, we have grown up together. And today he took advantage of that and he jumped the queue and it now comes Dr.
I am humbled and I am obliged. Once again to Dr. Kaushal Kesha. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Doctor.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Doctor.
I will have to take leave, sir. And I enjoyed the evening very much. Thank you and goodbye.
It's on the lighter side because people are already tense. I want to make them very light, world over.
Yes.
And maybe last 1 minute we will take from Rekha ji once again on meditation. So that people can be put to sleep.
You must. We as Indians are so blessed and lucky and enriched by the yoga and all.
Yeah, thanks for joining. And my deep thanks to Professor Chitkara ji, Madhu Chitkara ji, Mohit ji, and
I would
all
convey
others.
that. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Wonderful.
God bless you. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.